In this video we're going to connect to VATSIM and go through the initial setup of getting your runways ready, getting your ATs ready, and getting up and running. As explained on a previous video, what you do is that you log in as an observer. That dialog box comes on. You can close it. Because in this case what we want to see if there is someone else controlling in the Vancouver FIR. So far we see on the top right of the screen that there is no ATC in Vancouver. That's Anchorage Center is the only one on in the area. I'll wait a few more seconds to see what comes on, and we can see here that there is a departure. See how the departure list, it's populated with there's WestJet 1788 departing from Vancouver, and it's going to Las Vegas. So there is no one else on Vancouver FIR. That means that I can jump in. So you will need to log off and wait 30 seconds for the channel that we just opened to be properly closed and for there not to be two simultaneous connections from my computer. So I look for the position I'm going to be controlling. Vancouver approach. My credentials have been saved and therefore preloaded. This approach, the facilities approach, my rating is student 2, and I'm logging on into the north server. VATSIM. Range. All that is connected. I'll wait 10 more seconds and then we'll connect. Okay, that should be good. It will always ask you if you want to leave log off time without information. Yes. I know that I will be on for at least 45 minutes. It's connecting, it's loading, it's already connected to VATSIM, it loaded. My airspace became black. We see Seattle Center is online. Boundary activated with Seattle, so there's a handoff required here, and there's a handoff required in Bellingham as well. And we have 2 aircraft in Vancouver. Since this is the last scenario file that I worked on, as the one that comes up first, I need to open the scenario file for Vancouver ground. So this is where you go to open SCT. I already have it here on my list because I was working on that one yesterday. So it will save and provide you with an easy link for you to click on it. So if I'm to click here, it will open it. But I want to show you what if you don't have it here, which is the case if you haven't, or if this is the first time you're using Euroscope. What you do is you go to open SCT, go to open, and then that will open just a Windows Explorer window. And there what you do is that I'm gonna go all the way to the root C drive where you saved. You see this is the folders, the folder with the files, the set of files that you downloaded, files created by David. So right there you have, inside that folder you have a different set of folders. You need to get into the CZVR ES ASRs. And there David organized them in a very good way, which is, you can see if you want to open up a scenario file for an approach position, all of them are here. If you are going to be doing center, you get here ground and tower. So in this case I need or want to open Vancouver ground, so I get on the ground folders and I see that Vancouver ground is here. I just selected it and open, and then it opens Vancouver ground. We see there WestJet 1788 and Silk Line 11. Both have a flight plan filed already. Hopefully we will be able to talk to those two fellows. This one is already on the move, it appears. So let's take the opportunity to set up a couple of things. As you can see here in the lower left corner, the meters have been loaded automatically, letting you know these are all the airports that you are controlling on that position. Vancouver winds 120 remember to do the magnetic correction here. 120 so I'm gonna have runway 08 as actives. So the first thing you do is that now that you've seen the winds, you have selected the actives, you go to the runway icon on the top bar, you click on that, check this box, so you get rid of all the airports that are not inside your airspace or the airports that you're not required to control. And there I'm going to work on Vancouver first. I want to set this up first to be able to deal with those two aircraft. And as you can see, last night I had runway the 26s active based on the winds now, so I'm going to deselect this one, so uncheck them, and I'm going to have departures and arrivals out of runway 08 right and 08 left. I'm checking the four of them because I've been told that that's the way they do it in real life in Vancouver. Even on the 80s they talk about they're landing on the 8s or they're landing on the 26s. So I activate both. I do that. Another thing just happened. You see that the menu for the voice channel, those two fellows are
Vancouver,
already on my
good
frequency.
Morning, Jet 1788. I fly to Vegas.
And they are calling me already. WestJet 1788, standby for clearance, number 1.
1788.
Okay, so he's calling. I'm going to set this up quickly. So what you do is departure list. I have WestJet 1788. He just called, so you just right click on the departure airport, you get their flight plan. I'm gonna give them a Squawk. I just quickly check Las Vegas, the altitude is okay, it's a Boeing 737 IFR. Direct to Vancouver, I get rid of that. Jet 5, okay, set Squawk, and I'm gonna send them out on the Vancouver 7, so I know the altitude is Vancouver 8, I'm sorry, departure altitude is 7,000. I click on set temp altitude and then OK, and he's ready to go. I just check a couple of things. He's gonna be going out of 08 right, Vancouver 8. So I'm ready to give him the read back, and this is what I like about this. You can just read along this. WestJet 1788 cleared to Las Vegas via Vancouver 8 departure, runway 08 right, flight plan route, Squawk 4300.
Vancouver 8 right, 4300, WestJet 1788.
WestJet 1788, read back correct. I see you're on the move already. Taxi runway 08 right via Tango Mike Juliet Lima, cross runway 13.
Tango Mike Juliet Lima, cross 13. WestJet 1788.
Right. So I have given him his clearance. I checked this box so I know, and I have also given him his taxi instructions, so I know that that's taken care of. WestJet clearance given, and he is on taxi and taxi instructions acknowledged. So let's go for This other fellow, as you can see on the bottom, he is on text. I always like to check with them. You see, as I clicked on his call sign, it's activated, so I'm going to communicate with him. The first thing I do is that I ask them if they receive voice. If they receive voice, it's way easier. Sometimes they don't indicate it in such a way. While I do that, I am going to start working on his clearance. He is going to Los Angeles, so I right click on the departure. I get the information of his flight plan. He's flying at 32,000 feet. Alternate airport is a Boeing 744 YVR Jet 5 as well. So I'm gonna give him a squawk, and he's going to go out of the Vancouver 8 as well. Set temp altitude and OK. So he just replied, as you can see. It's letting me know he's gonna try to see if he can receive. So I'm going to check with him to see if he can hear me. Silk line. Silk line 11 heavy. How do you copy? I'm just waiting for him to acknowledge to see if he... Silk line 11 heavy, how do you copy? So he's not replying, so I ask him, I'm gonna ask him, did you hear my transmission? And as you can see, what it does, I am communicating on my frequency, and I'm communicating directly to Silk line 11. So everything I type, it automatically includes his call sign and my text. If I want to communicate with WestJet, I go ahead and click on WestJet. So as you can see now, it changed on the bottom here a little bit. You can type. Can you type that one? Okay, so he's replying already. So I'm gonna have to. He's gonna be on text. So he is clear to LAX via Vancouver 8 departure, runway 08 right. Actually, I'm gonna give him runway 08 left. He's on the cargo apron. 08 left. Flight plan route. The Squawk 4307. So I send that to him, and I need to change the runway I'm giving him. So I come over here and click on that and select it's gonna be out of runway 08 left. He is on text, so I'm going to leave that the way it is, and I'm going to go through the options that you have on the departure list, which allows you to control everything. So now I'm just waiting for Silk line to read back clearance, and there you go. He already replied. Clear to LAX by Vancouver departure, runway 08 left, Squawk 4307. So now I know that clearance has been granted. Readback has been read properly. The readback is correct. So I select that, and I tell him readback correct. Advise when ready for taxi. As you can see, I did not say he's authorized for pushback because I can see he is already positioned to start taxiing. It was the same situation as WestJet 1788. So while we wait for him to reply, you'll see that what we have here on the departure list is letting me know First of all, WestJet, that's his call sign, it's a Boeing 738. Then the next column, it's if they are voice, text, or receive voice. If you click there, you'll see that you have options. So in this case, if you select voice, it will leave it blank. It will only show you something, as it is the case here, if they receive only, or if they are text, full text. WestJet is on voice, so I'll leave it at that. It's an IFR aircraft, that's the next column, departing from Vancouver, using the Vancouver A departure. And here you could, as you can see, if you click on that, you get all the departures that come out of runway 08 right. And that's linked to the runway here. If I'm to change, say 26 left, then it's going to show me the departures out of runway 26 left, so I can choose from. So he's going out of somewhere runway 08 right and the Vancouver 8. That's what I gave him. This is a coordination that's you'll see when he gets in the air. You can use it to include on his tag if you have cleared them to a fix or direct to a point, VOR or NDB. Temporary altitude, that's Alt T. This is the temporary altitude. That's the altitude that they need to go up to with the Vancouver 8. So that, if you remember this, I did it when I opened up his flight plan. I'm gonna do that again. Okay, I'm on standby. I just received a text from Silkline. He is ready for taxi. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in. It's gonna be November 7. November 7. Okay, so we're gonna give this fellow his taxi instructions. Careful, as you can see on the text, I had clicked on WestJet, so WestJet is selected as the aircraft, as the active aircraft. I need to click on Silkline. There you go, and Silkline is gonna be taxi runway 08 left via November 7. Mike 7, Mike 10, and cross runway 26 right. I'll just wait for him to acknowledge, and I will update his tag. The tags are important because if you have other ATC with you and they are using Euroscope, they will get all those updates. So if you log in, say Tower logs in, and therefore Tower would have to take responsibility of these two aircraft on the ground, he or she will get all this information. So very quick, he or she can see where are they, if they have been given clearance, if they have already taxi instructions, or if they are only pushing back or whatever. So Silkline at the bottom of the screen, I see he replied 08 left, November 7, Mike 7, Mike 10, cross 26. So what I do, again careful, you see is I have WestJet selected. I go to Silkline and I just say Roger. Just okay, yeah. He did it okay. So now that he replied, I go back to the departure list and I indicate that he is already taxiing. And here we see something interesting already. He actually, this is letting me know that Silkline was given an Squawk of 4307, but at least at this moment in time he is squawking 4304. We'll wait a few more minutes before letting him know. Now if I want to make sure that I did give him 4307, how do I do that? Since he's on text, what I do is, as you can see, it only shows you the latest texts that came in or went out. If you want to go back in history, you use the arrow key up and down. So if with the up arrow key on my keyboard, I just go up. I want to see. Yeah, there you see. This is my clearance. I did tell him 4307, and he replied 4307. Just that on the departure list, at least at this moment in time, it's showing as if he is squawking 4304. So I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes. It may be, he's getting ready. This is important as he gets close to takeoff. So I'll just confirm with him on that squawk code as he approaches 08 left and gets ready for departure. Not right now. The WestJet 1788 is on the move. He's crossing runway 13 now. So while he gets there, I'm going to continue showing you. So we were talking about temporary altitude. If you click on that, you'll get the options, and that's how you do it when they get airborne. So doing this and selecting 7000 is the same as I did previously by right-clicking on his departure airport and selecting the temporary altitude and click set temp. Important here, now that I just did this, is that I have already given him clearance. I just open up his flight plan again. When you do that, if you did not change anything, just click cancel. If you click OK, there may be a risk of some of the information to kind of be duplicated in certain areas. So you can open up those flight plans as many times as you want. If the only thing you want to check is remarks or see something, but you didn't do any changes, just click cancel, just close it. Okay, 2 aircraft on the move. WestJet 1788 is getting close to 08 right. We'll see if he turns into Lima 4 or if he goes all the way down to Lima. Sometimes you know which scenery they have depending on what they do, because the old scenery packages don't have the Lima Bay down here, and they don't have this extension of Lima. They only have Lima 4. So we'll see what he does. If he turns into Lima 4, then I go ahead and give him his takeoff clearance. So this is interesting because what I'll do here, both are going south. One of them to Las Vegas, the other one to Los Angeles. Okay, he's going, sorry for that. As you can see, WestJet 1788 does have a new scenery. He's going all the way down to Lima. I'm gonna clear this aircraft to, I'm gonna keep him at 7,000 and
WestJet 1788, right, fully ready.
Okay, so he's ready. Here are the winds. It turned yellow because the winds changed. So I'm going to tell him that. WestJet 1788, departure with me. Winds 170 at 4, altimeter 3012. Clear for takeoff, 08 right.
Give takeoff, stereo, WestJet 1788.
Right. Clear for takeoff, so I go to the departure list and I want to make sure that, again, that way everybody knows where he is at. I need to go to Silk Line and make sure that departure with me. Wind 170 at 4. Takeoff 0 left. And I need to press the down key on my keypad just to see the latest instruction. So Silk Line is going to be taking off from 08 left, WestJet from 08 right. I don't always do this. Simultaneous takeoffs. I am just doing this as an example. I I prefer to take a slower pace, just taking them all out of 08 right, one behind the other. In this case, I'm having them taking off at the same time. So what that means is that we have a Boeing 744 departing on out of 08 left. He should have a better rate of climb. And then we have a Boeing 738. We'll see how that goes. And Silkline already replied, so I just say, okay, roger. Now both have been cleared for takeoff. I select that here. You see Silkline's already, it's still squawking 4304, so I'll correct that with him once he is in the air. And now I'm going to move to the approach scope. And the way I do that is that since I had it open already, I just click here on the top center of the screen. It shows me which ones I have open. I just click on the 1 and 2, 6, and we can see the aircraft that is as they're coming out. So I know that this one here out of 08 right is WestJet. I go to the flight plan list, right click on top of the call sign, and I'm going to be assuming that aircraft. And then it shows me his route. He should be calling me soon, letting me know where he's at. He's not. You see, they should be calling as they go through 1,500. Anyway, that kind of works because I want to give him a right turn as soon as he goes through 3,000. So I'm going to call him instead. WestJet 1788 identified. Turn right heading 170, climb 9,000.
170, climb 9,000. WestJet 1788.
Roger. So as you can see, I'm doing all that on his tag. I'm including the fact that I just gave him a turn. He's there. Oof. Okay, this other fellow is already at 6,000. He hasn't called. That's problem with the text, guys. He is still not a Squawk in 4307, so I need to let him know. A Squawk 4307. Climb on 6,000. Okay, he's a Squawk in 4307 now, and he can go all the way to 16,000. That's as much as I can give him. And 170. WestJet 1788, climb 16,000.
16,000, WestJet 1788.
Right. Silkline is not turning. It's taking him a while. And I think this is Jet 5. Yes. And WestJet 1788 is... Okay, he replied. WestJet 1788 is... Yeah, Jet 5. WestJet 1788 maintain present heading to join Jet 5 on course.
Join the Jet 5 on this heading, Jet 1788.
Roger. Here you see it's getting ready for the handoff. For some reason it's thinking that Unicom will get him. I need to change that because I know it's Seattle. And he's already at 10,000. So I should have started handoff right now. Transfer. And he is not acknowledging the handoff. Maintain present heading to join J85 on course. So I just sent Silk Line that. I want to see if Seattle Center wants to get this guy as well. He's not getting west yet. He's not getting west yet. Okay, there we go. Westjet 1788, contact Seattle Center 124.2. Good flight.
242, Gray, Westjet 1788. Thanks.
Right. And that's it. Off they go. So that was good. We were lucky to get just 2 aircraft departing out of Vancouver. I went quickly through some of the things that we do with Euroscope. I hope you were able to take a look at how you have the possibility of changing the tags, of working with the departure list in that case, and the handoffs. And in this case, it was good to have both an aircraft on text and another aircraft on voice. So as you can see, they are already underway. They change the color of the tag, and the target changes as they become unconcerned. WestJet 1788, for example, is that color because he passed the 16,000. He's outside of my airspace, and this also shows who's controlling him, so Seattle has him. And same goes with Silk Line 11. He should have been given higher already, but well, the tag has not been updated. They're still showing the altitude I gave him, and even the heading. And you'll see that it depends. And actually, as you can see, Seattle is not using Euroscope. If Seattle would have been using Euroscope, we would have seen a kind of a little arrow to the left-hand side of his call sign. So it could be the case that if he's using VRC may not be communicating with Euroscope, and so the tags don't get properly updated. So 2 aircraft are off. We went quickly through how to give them a squawk, how to clear them, how to just change their tags and their information as they are included in the departure list, indicating that clearance has been given, indicating that taxi or pushback instructions, taxi and departure have been given, and all that, as you noticed, is done on the departure list. And we got them on the air, 2 simultaneous takeoffs. It worked out good. They're one behind the other. Seattle Center has them, and the next would be to set up the 80s, and we will be doing that on another video.